Mark, a disappointing end to the season today, a 5-0 defeat at home to Spennymoor. What do you think went wrong today?
The same things that have been going wrong over the last few weeks. We started okay, and we passed the ball about as well as they did in the first half. We conceded 2 disappointing goals. We're coming in at half time. There's a suspected foul on our keeper, and then just 20 seconds to go in the half, I think, and we've gone to sleep and allowed them to get a second, which has really made it difficult for us. We can mention the number of people who've had to drop out through illness and injury today, but I'll give a very young team an opportunity, and they're giving their all, and we're just falling out short in certain areas and certain moments, and when that happens, they sort of lose confidence in themselves, and it becomes more difficult as the game goes on. A team like Spennymoor, who did rotate today and did give a few lads a game themselves. Obviously they've got a playoff game, so they're trying to drive forward and show that they want to play in the playoffs. So it's been a tough possible 4 or 5 weeks to the end of the season, and there's no shot really in terms of how our results have been going that we have struggled. What we've got to do is get the right balance between the experience we have in the team and the youth. We were short today. Too many young lads who are giving their all but are finding it very difficult. They need people around them to steady them down. We had a couple of experienced lads, but maybe not enough. It is a disappointing end to the season for us. We're all really disappointed in terms of the results. The experience might be invaluable for lads moving forward to come back when we get the balance right. We set out, when we were given the job to have a certain goal, we achieved that goal. It's just that then everybody maybe expected us to kick on like we hoped we would, and it hasn't panned out that way. It's a disappointing end when we'd achieved our goals earlier on, and hoped that we could do a little bit better than we've done, which is a great shame. But the lads who've played and the lads who've played the majority of the season, have given us their all. There's odd games where we've been disappointed. Goals wise, obviously we're disappointed today, but performance and experience, I can't fault their effort and their commitment. So disappointing, but everything for a number of weeks really has been thinking about next year rather than this one.
As you've just touched on there, the squad's been rather thin on the ground in the last few weeks with absentees, injuries, players playing out of position. Do you think that's played a major role in the recent poor form?
Yeah, definitely. I've been in and around obviously the first team for a number of years, but when you're actually making them decisions and getting them people in, you sort of learn. You have to learn quickly. We've been known that we got a number of loans in that have done really well for us, but over the last few weeks their own clubs have been calling them back and not allowing them to play, and then they do allow them to play one, and that sort of stifled their form. Obviously Lewis Riley got took back altogether, and all these little factors at a club where everything is the squad's so small, it does play little factors in it. What I'm looking at is individuals and how they've done, and sort of action planning them into what they need to do to be able to deal with teams like Spennymoor who are obviously much bigger squad than us, more experienced than us, and it showed at times in the game today. We competed, but we didn't have the final quality that they had, and we didn't have the ruthless mentality that they had at the back that their keeper made important saves when he needed to. Their centre half defended, as a back four they defended well, and at the other end they took their chances when we didn't. So the margins are quite small, but they end up looking like it's the margins are very big, and our lads go away really dejected and questioning themselves maybe. But that's for us next season to address that and make sure that we're improving and we're more consistent in our squad and how we compete in games and how we deal with opposition.
Looking to next season, obviously today's result is a disappointing way to end. Does that make you more eager to get going next year to try and put that right?
Well, what it shows is that I've just said to the players that we need a break. They need a week, they need 10 days to just have a think about how the season's gone, how their season's gone, what they need to do. I ask every player all the time to look at themselves, because players tend to want to blame somebody else. They want to say, oh, why didn't he do this or that, when they should look at themselves. And if you look at yourself and really judge yourself in terms of have you given everything today, what can you do better, how can you do it, training, giving your all in training and making sure that's at the tempo that the games are, and all the players have to address that, and they have to come with the attitude that this is a very good level. It's getting stronger all the time. There's going to be as much competition this year, the next season. We'll have more travelling because of the people who are going out of the league and the ones coming in. So we'll have a little break. Things are already being planned, but just a little break from the football, and then a massive push to make sure we've got a competitive squad to improve on what we've achieved this season.
Today draws to a close your first season as Curzon manager. How would you sum up your first term?
Well, it's been difficult because obviously you can only if you come in halfway through the season, the business has been done in terms of who's playing for the club, who's on year-long contracts. So this will be the next season will be my first proper season really. Like I said, we managed to achieve what we were asked to do when we came in, but next season, I'm not happy to just be in this league. I want to compete in this league, and I want us to have a squad of players who have the hunger and desire to get up this league. If you look at the points we've got compared to where what the points in the playoff are, it's not a million miles. But if you look at the points of the teams that have gone down, that's not a million miles. So we're learning very quickly. Things like loans, we've learned things about them, the pluses and the minuses of them. And like I say, the young lads within the squad, their experience of this season will be invaluable next season when they come back to try and play week in, week out over a full season, because they've only really been coming in. Once I took charge, I've given them the opportunity to show what they've got, and some have done really, really well. But they still need to improve. So that's our